Okay, so I don't even know how to start this one because when I try to explain what happened, it sounds like something someone made up. Like one of those stories you read online and think, yeah, sure, that definitely happened. But it did happen. And the part that gets me, even now, isn't the big moment. It's not the thing she said that stopped me in my tracks. It's the detail I noticed after. The small thing that told me this wasn't an accident. But I'll get to that. Her name's Linda. She's my ex-girlfriend's mom. And about 3 weeks ago, she set 2 plates on her kitchen table before I'd even said yes to staying for dinner. Let me take you back to where this actually started.
So, Linda Mercer, 47 years old, literature professor at the local college. The kind of woman who quotes Hemingway in a text message, and somehow it doesn't feel pretentious. It just feels like her. I dated her daughter, Priya, for 2 years. We broke up about 8 months ago. It was one of those breakups that's sad but not ugly, you know? No big fight, no villain, just 2 people who loved each other and slowly realized they were heading in different directions. Linda and I always got on well when Priya and I were together. She's the joke that I was the only boyfriend who actually read the books on her shelf instead of just nodding at them. After Priya and I ended, I figured, okay, that's that. Linda was part of that chapter. Chapter's closed. Then, one Tuesday morning, my phone rings. Unknown number. I pick up. I almost didn't. I nearly let it go to voicemail. And I hear, Ryan? It's Linda. Linda Mercer. I genuinely had to take a second. She sounded a little embarrassed just calling. She explained she'd gotten my number from an old emergency contacts list. Priya's, the one that apparently still had me on it 8 months later. She laughed at that. Awkward, apologetic laugh. And then she said her car wouldn't start. She was stuck in a supermarket car park. Roadside assistance was 2 hours away. She had frozen food melting in the boot, and she didn't know who else to call. Then she stopped herself mid-sentence. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called. I'll figure it out. And something about that, the way she pulled back, the way she immediately apologized for asking, I don't know, something about it just... I said, Linda, which car park? Silence. You really don't have to. Which car park? Soft beat. She told me. I was there in 12 minutes. She was standing next to this dark blue Honda when I pulled in, arms crossed, not angry, just holding herself together a bit. It was cold. And I don't know why I noticed this, but she looked different to how I remembered her from Priya's house. Not older, just quieter. Like 8 months had settled something in her that used to be a little restless. She smiled when she saw me pull in. Not the big, warm hostess smile from Sunday dinners. Something smaller, more real, actually. Thank you, she said. Genuinely, you didn't have to come. Let's see what we've got, I said. It was the battery, completely dead. I had jump leads in my boot, habit from my dad. He always said you carry jump leads or you're not prepared for anything. 10 minutes, engines running. The whole time, Linda just stood beside me, not hovering, not pretending she understood what I was doing, just there, handing me things when I asked. Easy company, weirdly. When the engine turned over, she let out this laugh, genuinely relieved, completely unguarded, and she put her hand on my arm for just a second. You're a lifesaver. It's a flat battery, Linda. Let's not oversell it. She smiled at that, got in the car. I followed her out of the lot just to make sure the engine held. It did. I drove home thinking, okay, nice thing to do. Glad I helped. That's that. She texted me that evening. Car made it home safely. Frozen food survived against all odds. Thank you again, Ryan. I owe you one. I typed back, really glad it worked out. You don't owe me anything. Short pause. Then she replied. One line, a quote. Turned out it was from a Hemingway novel. He pauses, almost smiling at the memory. I stared at my phone for a second. Then I typed back the next line of the quote from memory. 3 seconds later, she replied, "You actually know that book." "Read it twice," I said. "Priya told me you were well read. I thought she was being kind." "She wasn't being kind," I said. "She was being accurate." "No," she wrote back. "She was." And that was it. That was the whole conversation. But I kept my phone in my hand for a bit longer than I needed to. Beat. 2 weeks go by. Normal life, nothing unusual. Then she rings again. This time, a noise from the car, grinding when she brakes. She'd been to a garage, didn't trust the quote they gave her, asked if I knew anyone reliable. I said I'd come look at it first before she paid anyone. She said I absolutely didn't need to do that. I said I'd be there Saturday morning. She went quiet for a moment, then, "Okay, Saturday." Her house was exactly how I remembered it, from Priya's days. Books in the hallway, actual stacks of them, not decorative. Herb garden on the kitchen windowsill, that smell of coffee that hits you the second the door opens. She answered in a loose gray shirt, hair pulled up, glasses on. She clearly hadn't dressed up, and honestly, that made me more comfortable than if she had. "Coffee before you start?" she said. "Let me look at the car first," I said. Small pause. Brake pads, worn down, but not dangerously. I'd actually grabbed a set at the parts shop on the way over, just in case, so I had what I needed. About 40 minutes under the car. At some point, I didn't hear her come out, but there was a coffee on the driveway next to me. She didn't say anything, didn't make a moment of it, just left it there. Beat, like that detail still sits with him. When I came out and stood up, she was in the doorway, arms loosely crossed, just watching. "All sorted," I said. "What do I owe you?" "Just the cost of the parts. I'll send you the receipt." She shook her head slowly. "That's not fair on you." "Linda." "Stay for dinner." Pause. Just like that, direct, no fuss. "I made too much anyway," she said. "I always cook too much. It's a terrible habit." He pauses. A quiet laugh. I looked at her standing there in that doorway. I told myself, just say you've got somewhere to be. It's the sensible thing. She's Priya's mom. This is just... I didn't have anywhere to be. "I'll wash my hands," I said. The kitchen smelled incredible. Pasta from scratch, the proper kind. The kind that takes an hour at least. The kind you only make when you actually want to. I stood in the doorway and I watched her stir something on the stove. And she glanced back over her shoulder at me, just once. That quiet half smile. "You can sit down," she said softly. "You've earned it." Pause. I looked at the table. 2 plates. Already set. Not 1 plate that she'd quickly added when I said yes. 2 already there. Candle already lit. Wine already open. Before I said yes to anything. Beat. I sat down. I didn't say anything about the plates. Neither did she. We talked for almost 2 hours. Books, her students, what I'd been up to, things that had nothing to do with Priya, nothing to do with cars, nothing to do with anything except just 2 people talking. At some point, I realized the food was long gone and neither of us had moved. She was looking at me across the table with this expression I couldn't fully read. Not quite a smile. Something quieter. Something that felt like a question she hadn't decided to ask out loud yet. I didn't answer it, but I didn't look away either. Slow. I drove home about an hour later, and the whole way back I kept thinking about one thing. Not the conversation, not the way she laughed, not any of it. Just those 2 plates, already on the table, before I said yes. Pause. You know, sometimes you tell yourself you stumbled into something, that it just happened, that you didn't see it coming. But then you remember a detail like that, and you realize
softest pause. Someone was already cooking.